Hi guys, I wanted to talk to you today about buying a black belt. We all know that for most people receiving a black belt is a very special occasion, something on a par to earning a degree, I guess, which is why, you know, we have all the ceremonies and the big certificates and all that kind of stuff. And although I really don't go with all of the ritual of karate, a black belt was one ritual that I did take quite seriously for myself. Well, you know, not seriously, but I gave some stock to the black belt. I actually bought a Taekwondo black belt from Japan because I liked the idea of it. Was my little tribute to the birthplace of karate, if you like. And I know a lot of people do buy Taekwondo or Shuraido, and they're quite an expensive belt. They take up to 6 weeks to arrive, and you know, they're a lovely belt. There's no doubt about that. But my sensei has just asked me to get him a new belt, and because of time constraints, we got from the UK instead, and he went to a company called Kamae. Now let me just grab this. Now Kamae is a company run by Bob Poynton and possibly some other people over at the EKGB, English Karate Governing Board, and I think they've been around for a little while running this shop, but I had not heard of them before. But I went there to order this belt, and I have to say, from start to finish, the entire experience has been nothing but positive. They've been professional, they've been attentive, money has been a distant part of the equation. I've never felt at any stage that the cost they were going to charge me was the important thing, but the service at every single step, and just for that I've been so impressed. So in the post this morning, this belt arrived. So it arrived really well packaged in here, and this is what I love, you know, for a black belt. I mean, it is an occasion. So here, any of you who've seen the movie Kurobi, Black Belt, beautiful movie by the way if you haven't seen it. It's a kind of a misrepresentation of the value of a black belt, but in Kurobi, the old master dies and he has his black belt, and it's when he dies, it's in this lovely presentation case, wooden case, and they kind of treat you like the Turin Shroud. All a bit silly, but you know, I do think the presentation of a black belt, like a presentation of a degree, is something that really merits some reverence, if you like. So here's what you get from Kamae. So here's their logo. Here's yeah, whatever. That's their name in Japanese, I guess, or maybe that says Yudanchi. I don't know. I don't read Japanese. Right. So it's a really beautiful box in the first place. Really good quality. And then inside you got this beautiful presentation here. This lovely belt here, and again a really nice. I don't know. I mean, you know, it's not going to stay on it for long, but I don't know if you can see this kind of plastic thing. So this is one that I ordered from my sensei, and I'm sure he won't mind me just showing you, because once it's done, it's too late. So here's this kind of belt support thing, and then the Kamae logo on the bottom of the belt, and the embroidery up here. So this is for my sensei Jason Smith. So here's the name of our style down here in kanji, and then here's his name down here in katakana. For those of you who don't know, generally speaking, style names are written in kanji, which is well, it's kind of the Japanese native text, I guess you'd say. It's derived from Chinese, I think. Could be wrong on that one. But when you write Western names, especially names like Smith, which don't actually exist in Japanese, you use this other font called katakana, which is just a phonetic font. So if you look here, for example, this kanji, each of these characters may have a meaning. So you know, I have no idea what any of the meanings are, but supposing this sounded like "der," but the kanji for "der" might mean man under a tree or something like that. And because that kind of thing is quite important in the formation of a name, you have to be careful what you choose. Whereas here at katakana, you don't really want your name, your Western name, to be made of something that if this was kanji, this could mean something like, you know, the brave man who sits by the tree fishing or something, and you might not want that. You might just want that to just be the sound, you know, Jason Smith or Smithu or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of why generally see katakana for people's names, and the style is in kanji. But going back to Kamae, what really impressed me is while we were talking about the price, and I kept on pestering them all the time. Okay, how do you want paying? How do you want paying? And at no stage did they pester me for the money. In fact, the belt is here with me now, and they still haven't charged me. They've sent me an invoice, and I will go and pay that in a minute. But I just felt that from start to finish, well, I don't have super big feelings about the EKGB per se. I'm kind of not really a fan of governing bodies, actually. I don't much like to be told how I should think about karate, or how I should do it, or what traditions I should do, or have people in charge of me. But you know, in the past, the EKGB has been somewhat factious. It's some people might even have issues with governing bodies for why we didn't get into the Olympics before. But I have to say, if the behaviour of Bob Poynton and Roy over at Kamae is any indication of how the people at the EKGB behave, I am nothing but impressed. But really, I just wanted to recommend this band, Kamae, because they have been absolutely awesome in the way they've dealt with this, and it's made me reconsider buying belts from the UK, to be honest. As I say, I do take my Japanese belts seriously, but if I were going to go anywhere in the UK, it would definitely be from this company. And if you're an instructor who likes to make a tradition of the belt presentation, you actually get much. I've got let me show you. This is I've got my two belts here that I normally wear in the dojo. This one is this is my working belt. As you can see, it's a little tiny bit worn. It's a cotton belt. This is a Tokaido belt. I actually took the label off because I don't really want to be an advert for Tokaido per se every time I train. But it's been a good belt. It's wearing quite nicely. And then this is, I guess I'd call this my ritual belt, which I've left the label on just because I didn't want to damage it. It's a silk belt. It's nice. I really love the belt. I love that colour of kanji. But it's a nice belt. Probably cost me 60 or 70 quid, maybe £100. I think Shueido's are a little bit cheaper. And the Kamae belt's not super cheap. It was £59.70, including digitisation and delivery. The big advantage, of course, was that it arrived in 2 weeks instead of 4 to 6, which the Tokaidos tended to. And also, you don't have any possible worries about customs on the way in. And also, you can speak to the people who are actually going to make it, and they speak the language. So, lots of benefits to going with Kamae if you're thinking of getting your black belts, or even indeed your colour belts, if you have colour belts or tournament belts where you embroider your names on. Well worth going to them. One more thing I didn't show you, of course. Let me just open this again. Hopefully Sensei won't mind me doing this. But one of the signs of a good belt is that the kanji here doesn't show on the other side. Now, what you'll find with cheap people is that they'll take a normal black belt, they'll stitch right the way, they'll embroider right the way through 2 layers, and then they just paint the back, and it looks crappy and horrible. And I don't know if it marks your gi or not if you wash it or sweat. But with this, what they do is they embroider while the belt is open, and then they seal it and sew it. So the actual stitching of the belt, I don't know how many stitches they've got here. They've probably got about 10 or 15 rows of stitching here, so it doesn't kind of fall apart on you. It's a good quality cotton. A little bit thinner perhaps than the standard Tokaido. Not it's tough to tell really. I feel no, it's probably about the same. But the stitching here goes right through the kanji, which shows that the kanji is stitched into the belt rather than just painted on the back. So quality everywhere you look at it, guys. They do a plain belt, and they also do cheaper belts as well as I don't know if they do silk. I imagine they probably do, but not my standard belt. Anyway, talked long enough. Just a strong recommendation there, guys, for Kamae. Really excellent company, and very, very impressed with their ethos and their customer service. You take care. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please take the time to rate and comment, and it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe. Thank you.